What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 405 of FloWrestling Radio Live. And every 10 shows, it rhymes when I say that. So that's always a big show. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined as always and forever by Mr. Honor and Loyalty himself, White Collar Willie Saylor, who is joined in studio by none other than Daniel Roy Lobdell Jr. Double thumbs up from the boys back in Easton, PA. To my left, Stephen Kyle Brackey, repping, got a little Terp skirt going on here, Maryland Terrapin shirt. And we're joined by the Eagle and the Bronco, as always. So, very special FRL, very excited. It is I don't know what, we haven't really discussed. I don't even want to address what we're going to be doing FRL-wise when you two are in freaking Kazakhstan. I don't know. Willie, do you have any thoughts on that? What are we going to do Thursday? Are you going to be in a plane?
Thursday? I don't know if we exist Thursday.
Yeah,
because we leave Wednesday and we land Friday.
So you literally don't exist.
Do we even have that day?
We go in a time warp, 11 hours forward.
Dang. All right. Well, that's too bad. Okay. Well,
I think we could do FRL.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Spay.
Let's
you know what? I was even thinking about getting Spay and maybe even a little David Bray action.
Yeah.
He's here early enough. What do you think about that?
Let's go to the bullpen here.
Let's go to the pen.
We're pretty deep.
There's no doubt there. So there's a lot to get into. I will discuss. It's World's Week, right? There's a lot going on in wrestling, but I do want to elaborate on my Iran-Israel tweet that I sent out last Thursday, and then that spilled over into Friday. But I'll do it at the end of the show because I know you guys want to hear about wrestling. But if you are interested in that, I'm happy to elaborate about that. In short, I stand by everything that I've said, and I have no regrets, and I will elaborate on that further at the end of the show. So, item one.
In the West Bank.
What'd you say?
We have a correspondent in the West Bank.
We do. We dipped into our freelance budget, and now we have a West Bank correspondent. Nick Suriano, long speculated red shirt, was announced, but at the same time, it's not really. I don't think it's really going to be like a maybe we'll see a Dayton Fix red shirt. He's not going to wrestle this year in NCAA, I don't believe. Nick, I'm not convinced that he's not going to wrestle NCAA this year for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
Yeah,
I do think first semester freestyle heavy, but I think we see him second semester for Rutgers. So that was not outlined in the NJ.com article, but
the reports are a little off, in my opinion. First things first, it's not an Olympic red shirt.
Yeah.
They said Olympic red shirt. He's not even qualified for an Olympic red shirt.
I think they just want to say it because it just sounds cool.
It just sounds like it's a special year. We're gonna say Olympic red shirt.
It's not.
It's not. He doesn't have one. This is
does
a regular
sound
red
cool.
shirt.
To be fair, from a branding perspective, it is great. It is better to say you're taking an Olympic red shirt.
You know what? It's a lot. You know what? A lot.
Here's the other thing, though. Suriano doesn't want to wear shirts. Period.
No.
It's tough for him.
Shirt.
So if he's gonna wear a shirt, it's gonna be an Olympic shirt.
It's a lot like saying Olympic red shirt is Maserati. Red shirt would be Miata. Just sounds better.
This is completely nope. I honestly not even sure what you're talking about at this point.
We're just trying to loop. Longtime listeners know there was an incident with an intern and a Maserati versus a Miata, and someone on this show didn't know the difference.
Allegedly.
This is all alleged and also on video.
Yes.
That was a deep fake.
That's the deepest fake ever because I was definitely there for it. But regardless, it definitely, Nick wrestling or not wrestling is landscape shifting for NCAAs, as is Dayton and many of the other guys that are potentially Jaden Ironman, Yanni Diakomahalis. So, but beyond that, I don't know what else there is to say other than I think we'll see him second semester, and I think there's a good chance we see him at 125 pounds, which, yes, could mean Spencer Lee, Nick Suriano, Sebastian Rivera, all at the same weight.
Yeah. I don't know. We might not see him all year, but if I'm betting money, we see him second half at some point. So the only thing we really, really learned is that we're not going to see him first semester because he's not registered for classes, right?
Right.
But which is weird, which is completely weird because, and it's not completely weird. There's a reason for it, but he's allowed to take classes.
Yeah.
He's just not.
Just not doing it. I think they're really buying into the Olympic redshirt thing. They're like, I think they told Nick he's taking an Olympic redshirt, even though he's not. It's like, yeah, you got to unenroll, dude. That's the rule. He's like, all right, guess I'm unenrolling.
Yeah.
All right. He's like doing everything Olympic that aligns with taking an Olympic redshirt. Yeah. Because he definitely is not qualified. Someone posted an article, Nomad, that had like various criteria in it, and one of them was NCAA champion, but that is not the Olympic redshirt criteria. What criteria was that? Like World Team Trials qualifications or something?
Right. So, because Willie and I were looking at this last night, and we're like, this is not an Olympic redshirt. I'm gonna get it pulled up, but he never even like tried to.
He doesn't wrestle free. He hasn't wrestled freestyle since 2014.
Right.
Well,
Right.
We see Olympic. We see these articles saying Olympic redshirt, Olympic redshirt. I'm like, no, man, he's not qualified for Olympic redshirt, right? So then we were like, we got to look this up. Like,
Yeah.
no man was adamant.
So
I was like, let's just clarify.
There's only 4 criteria, and they all pretty good. They make sense. Past national team member, right? So top 3 at World or Olympic trials. He has not done that. Top 8 at the 2019 Senior U.S. Open. This year's U.S. Open. He didn't go to that.
You could kind of take any U.S. Open for that one. He has not gone to any of them.
Any of
Correct.
the opens.
Now here, there's some and/ors here, so you gotta follow me here, fans. Top 3 at 2019 NCAA Wrestling Championships,
Check.
or NCAA champion from a previous year, so 2018. But he checks the first one, and here's the and this is why he didn't qualify. Top 2 from the 2019 U23 World Team Trials. Did not go to U23s. Here's another one. Previous cadet junior U23 world medalist. He has never made a cadet junior U23 world team. So, but he can redshirt normally. I don't know why he's not enrolled in classes. I'm glad he's planning to wrestle freestyle because I was extremely skeptical of it. And, we said that when we found out that it was going to be a similar schedule to 2015 where the Bill Farrell's in November, the pseudo U.S. Open is in December, that there's going to be guys that would most likely take the first semester off or, wrestle an abbreviated schedule. And Nick's just one who seems to be saying, I'm not going to wrestle folks out all first semester.
I think we
and their
should
schedule
call
is
this,
like, they probably don't even need him.
I think we need to call this the Willie shirt because no one liked to take semesters off more than Willie Saylor.
For real, we need to call it the Snyder plan.
It is the Snyder plan.
That's what I mean. I don't think it's going to go away. I mean, it's happening to several. Well, I assume it's going to happen to several guys now, and I assume in 2024 or 2025 or 2023, people do the same kind of thing.
This is Rutgers' first semester schedule, by the way. So I don't think we're missing much. Centenary and LIU Brooklyn. I don't know if they're LIU Post anymore. Fresno State, CSU Bakersfield, Navy Classic, hosting Maryland.
Okay.
So we're not losing much.
No marquee matchups. Penn State schedule, which we should get to Penn State schedule at some point because that's out, and they will wrestle Rutgers at Rec Hall. So that would be interesting if he comes back for that, especially if he's at 33 and it's RBY Suriano, the return. That's extra juicy. Okay, hashtag Thick Bass Season. Thick Bass Season is a reference to a hashtag from Ryan Deacon to a Sebastian Rivera Instagram post where he said he's like not gonna be cutting weight or something like that, and so everyone thought, because I don't know how you could think anything but this.
He said, quote, itching for the mat, not cutting weight, hashtag big boy season.
So everyone thought that, okay, he's going up to 133, but he's not. But you are not stupid for thinking that he's going up to 133 based on that post, because I don't know how else you read that post. But he's not. He's staying at 125.
Then what was his post about?
I don't know.
He's not cutting weight like what? Like right now, As I am typing this tweet, I am not cutting weight. Is that what he meant?
To which I give a giant no crap. Who's cutting weight in September in D1 wrestling?
Well, Nomad, clarify, because you're the one that then came back and
you're
said
the Seabass whisperer.
Yeah.
No, Dan Seafrink talked to him, and he said he's not going 125. I don't know what the tweet was about.
Wait, he's not going
125?
I'm sorry, he's not going 133. He is going 125. I apologize, I misspoke. Correct. No, he is going 125. He's not going 133. I have no idea what the Instagram post was about. Maybe he is down to like 124, and he just is small now. I don't know. Doesn't make sense.
Okay.
I'm kind of sad because Dick Bass is incredible. Hashtag Dick Bass.
Thick Bass season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Thick Bass, but you know what? It's fine. 125 more Spencer. I'm here for Spencer. Sebastian Rivera rivalry continued. Of course, Jack Mueller's going to have something to say about that, as is potentially Nick Suriano, Nick Piccinini. Yeah, 125 is going to be awesome again. Going to be the weight to watch next year, although 133 is going to be fun for sure.
Remember when he bumped up to wrestle Miocic?
Yeah.
How much smaller he looked?
He was so much smaller.
He should stay at 125.
He should.
Who's Seabass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't like, no, I mean, not that it matters, but didn't we hear long ago, like spring, early summer, that he was really big?
Well, he said in his last interview after his final NCAA match that he gets up to like 155, like 160 in the offseason.
That's a thick bass.
That is a thick bass. If you reel that one in, that's a trophy. Okay. So
Strong line for that one.
we're all here for thick bass season. Sebastian, you kind of knew what you were doing when you put out that Instagram, though. You got it. You should not be surprised when people think you're moving up when you said you're not cutting weight, because no one thought. I bet Sebastian Rivera's got plastics on a treadmill right now. No one's cutting weight right now. Okay. Next topic. Penn State schedule is out, and it is different than it has been in the past. A few highlights. One, I think, Nomad, you had said something or put something in, maybe it was just in the Slack, that Penn State schedule was going to look a little different this year, but we didn't know what exactly that meant. So there's two main differences. One, no Keystone Classic, but they added the Army West Point Black Knight Invitational, and Army in early November or mid-November, I guess we'll say. And then no Southern Scuffle. So they're off from December 8th to January 10th. So that is a month for you math majors out there like me. They'll have off. But to me, that is a freestyle shaped hole designed around sending a large contingent to the pseudo, as Nomad calls it, the pseudo U.S. Open in Dallas, Texas, which makes sense. So I think they're saying, hey, they want to really focus on this. And I think this is a way for, if you consider, like, you've got a guy like Mark Hall with Olympic aspirations. You've got some guys on the team. Anthony Cassar definitely has Olympic aspirations. This is a good way for them to, because they're not taking Olympic redshirts. It sounds like Mark Hall's not taking an Olympic. So I take it as like, this is a way they're kind of modifying their schedule so their guys can do the freestyle thing the way that they think is best, while not putting too much on them for their D1 schedule. And if you're saying, like, well, why can't the other guys just go to the Scuffle and do that? Penn State they don't do that thing where they put things on their schedule and they send 4 guys, right? Like, if it's on their schedule, Penn State makes a point to send their team and to make sure it's like, no. So they don't do that kind of half in, half out thing. They send their team to the things that are on their schedule. So I think that's probably why they're making that choice this year. And obviously Olympic years, I think we're seeing more and more, like, there's a shift in how teams are approaching it. I think we're going to see this year schedule changes for, like, the elite guys like the Spencers and the Mark Halls, etc. And I think this is just further evidence of that.
Yeah. So a couple things I want to touch on to Christian's point about the way they align their schedule. It's not necessarily just their schedule, right? Everything with Penn State is looking at the starters, right? They very rarely publicize when their red shirts go somewhere, right? They very rarely, if ever, publicize their recruiting class that they signed, right? Everything is just what are the 10 guys who are starting doing. Another point, this is the second time in 4 years that they haven't gone to the scuffle. Now, the last time was 2016-17, and they had a break from December 11th to January 6th there. And a lot of teams who go to like CKLV have this kind of break. So it's not completely absurd or ridiculous that a team would have that kind of break. However, it just does strike me as a little odd that Penn State's only they won't have any multi-day weigh-ins this year. They won't until Big Tens.
Yeah,
Which I don't think that will affect them much, but it's just a different thing, right? It seems to be a good simulation for NCAAs to have a multi-day weigh-in, which is why basically every team in the country goes to CKLV, Midlands, or Scuffle.
Yeah, I think I prefer, and I think that every team should have a multi-day weigh-in. I think that every team should go to the CKLV, Midlands, or the Scuffle. And nothing against CKLV, but Midlands and Scuffle are later in the year, so that's probably they should probably go to one of those two, in my opinion. But in this particular year, I sort of get Penn State not going because, or at least giving some of their guys the time to wrestle freestyle. Because let's remember, it's not only about freestyle, keeping your freestyle toes in the water, right? Keeping your toes in the freestyle water. It's also about qualifying. So it's not just wrestling freestyle once in a while and keeping your acumen up there. It's also about they need to qualify somehow.
Right. The only guys who in the Penn State room who are qualified, they're already graduated. It's Zane and David Taylor, right? So Mark Hall, Anthony Cassar, Bo Nichols on the team anymore, but all those guys, any of those guys who want to compete in the Olympic trials, they're going to have to go to this. I'm also curious if I don't think they're going to send a lot of their guys to Bill Farrell, with that being the same weekend as Black Knight. Number one, they would have to weigh in 3 days. Maybe that's their simulation for NCAAs. They weigh in 3 days in a row for Bill Farrell and Black Knight. But yeah, I'm with Christian. I think they're gonna send a big group to Fort Worth in December, and I think it also signals, to CP's point about guys not taking Olympic red shirts or sitting, that they're gonna need all their guys this year, or they feel they're gonna need all their guys this year. To beat Iowa and all those teams, right? They got Ohio State in the BJC, so I think they're trying to maintain as strong a team as possible, but also get as many guys qualified for Olympic trials as they can.
Yeah. So it makes sense. It's clear they're trying to negotiate two different things, and to me it makes sense. Even though, what is the impact of not having a multi-day weigh-in? I don't know. I mean, there's ways you can simulate that, right? You can do that in your room or whatever. It's like it's not the only scenario where you can cut weight and do that kind of thing. And so, okay, that's Penn State's schedule. Anything further? What's Facebook saying?
Not much.
Not much. Not a lot of chatter. Okay.
No, Ohio State takes a big break like this every year. They don't do it. They go CKLV and then they don't pick anything up until the first Big Ten duel in January. But they are also going to CKLV.
Right. So in 16-17, that year, Nomad referenced, that the reason they did that is the way the scuffle fell. It was like a really quick turnaround. And that January 6th duel was like a really tough team, and it was maybe Nebraska or something like that. And they were like, this doesn't make sense for us to – they want to make sure their guys are able to do the things well and do the scuffle well and then do their next duel well. And they thought that was too tight of a turnaround.
I wonder if, the Big Ten, we all complain about the schedules coming out, right? They come out too late. And they do. They frankly do. It's ridiculous. one part of that, at least for the Big Ten teams, is that the Big Ten wrestling is successful on the networks, right? And so they try to schedule football, schedule basketball, and then see how many wrestling duels they can put on for maximum, viewership.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, the schedules come out late. Now, I wonder, like, for instance, maybe Tom Ryan doesn't know what exactly his schedule is going to be. He doesn't know if he's going to have a duel on Jan 5 or Jan 6, or if his first Big Ten duel is going to be Jan 9, which will make, a few days difference is important. So I wonder if they, tell the Scuffle, hey, or Midlands, for that matter, hey, we'll let you know. We can't let you know right now until we find out the Big Ten schedule.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well, to CP's point, in 2016-17, they had a duel January 6th, January 8th, Minnesota, Nebraska. So a Friday, Sunday would have been 4 days after, and it would have been, you had traveled on the 3rd and you had traveled on the 5th. And that's even for
those are the things that Penn State really they consider stuff like that. I'm not saying other teams don't, but they look at all those kinds of things. Anyways, that's Penn State's schedule. We'll have it on the site here at some point.
I have it up.
Oh wow, you won't tweet it right now.
I did.
Oh man, Bracky won't retweet it from FloWrestling though.
I won't. Sorry,
dude. You're got to log in on your phone and do it. Okay.
Well, pump.
Earth contest, that's happening. We need to get to it. We need to start talking weight by weight and get some stuff on wax. All right. Let's start with 57 kilograms. It's the lightest one. It is the one where we will send the man we call Dayton Fix to represent the United States of America for the umpteenth time, but for the first time on the senior level. And the top 4 seeds, real quick: Atli from Turkey, Ogoyev, the returning champ, Takahashi, the 2017 champ, and Sanayev from Kazakhstan. So, the other contenders: Azerbaijan's Amir Slanov, Atri from Iran, Stevan Micic, and Davidovi of Italy. Now, let's just, in the interest of time, not that we're going to rush. We don't rush this. We take our sweet time here because it's important. But let's kind of do round table. Let's go around, give us our picks. Nomad, strangely, giving no predictions in his previews. Very un-Nomad-like. I don't know why Spay allowed that. Put it on wax. I don't want to hear any called it, knew it, this, that, and the other after the thing happens. Put it out there.
So part of that is because I didn't know the damn entries. I started writing these. Writing these in July, but I will have a predictions article separate.
Okay, that's good to know.
Is it a bear?
Was it surprising to learn that Ogoyev, Takahashi, and Micic were going? What were the weights in question for you in your mind?
They were.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I didn't want to do it.
Okay.
But I will do it.
There we go. The truth comes out. He didn't want to do it. He's not ready. To be fair.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, remember that time that I wrote a whole Olympic preview and I didn't put Sosan Romanov in, and then I decided to dig in and just battled with people on Twitter for a full day and was like, I don't know. I don't think he's going to win. And then he proceeded to mollywop people for the
not
entire
a contender
Olympics.
to me. That was early in your regime.
This is how you do it.
That was the 3rd article I wrote.
Sometimes you just dig yourself a hole and then refuse to take the ladder that somebody gives you to get out of it.
I was finding clips of him getting stepped over on gut wrenches. And, yeah.
Listen, his Parterre offense is suspect, and it's time we just have to understand that. Yeah, then he teched Asgarov.
That's bad.
He was on fire. What's up with him? What's he doing these days?
Romanov? I
Yeah.
don't know. He didn't win Russian Nationals last year. I don't think he wrestled it this year, so I think he's done.
It's so weird. They just stink. Or they're just not as good, or they stop entering tournaments. It's so weird over there. If we had a Sosan Romanov, he would just every year he would enter and probably be on the team and a contender. Over there, it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
They have other stuff going on. But let's get to 57.
Anyway, yeah, let's talk 57.
7 returning world medalists. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I was doing last night. 7 returning world medalists.
Wait.
But
senior?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It has to be one of the most.
Name them.
They are
Agoyev,
in question.
Takahashi.
Well, all the ones from last year: Agoyev, Sanayev, Atli Takahashi, Yatsenko, and Erdinibot from 2017. Erdinibot also won in 2015. And then, depending upon how you say it, the Belarusian Vladislav Andreev or Vladislav Andreev, he was bronze in 2014.
As for me in my house, we will call him Andreu. Okay, that's a really good weight. I think I really like Dayton's chances at medaling. I think he can win it. It's going to be really, really tough. I think the most talented guy is probably Takahashi, but Agoyev, he proved he could get it done last year, so he's really tough to pick against. Who are you going to select, Willie Saylor?
Right on the spot.
Honor and loyalty.
I will go. I mean, to me, it's 3 people. It's Yuguyev, Takahashi, and Dayton.
Yeah.
And I think they present different problems for Dayton, though I think he can solve either one of them. I'm gonna go Dayton Fix world champ.
Same.
Dang.
Bracky, you going?
I want to pick Dayton. But now I just feel like we're being homers.
Yeah.
Screw it. America. Dayton. I'm sitting right next to an Eagle.
Boom.
Well, I'll be contrarian, both for the sake of being contrarian, and also, like, if I'm doing power ranking going in, I wouldn't have Dayton at the top. I certainly think Dayton can win, but it's the same thing that, I said, like, when I picked Gilman against him, right? You need a little more offense. Amir Slanov scares me, guys who are just going to sit there and look at Dayton and not attack him.
I'm cool with Dayton.
Do you think Agoyev? Don't you view Agoyev kind of like that a little bit too?
Yeah, Agoyev, like, I think he has the best skill set, especially. Dayton doesn't usually get turned, but his gut wrench is problematic for everybody else in the world. So Dayton at least has to be cognizant of that. But
I'm all right with the guys that hang out. They want to hang out, take 1 or 2 shots a match. I like Dayton those matches.
That is the thing I think that scares me with Dayton. Because if they're gonna hold position, not do anything. Dayton needs the exchanges. That's where he thrives. He can't have a 2 exchange match is bad for him. Absolutely. That's to me.
Yep.
That is a fact. If it's just a 1 move chess match, it's not good. He needs like a Gilman U.S. Open type of match. Attacking, people coming at him, exchanges. He'll win the exchanges. But if the exchanges are limited to when the Russian or the Japanese guy think the thing is best and they go then, I think it's going to be really tough for him.
Takahashi don't hang out, right?
Well,
Takahashi's like a reattack guy.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that one interests me. I think that would be the most interesting matchup to watch of all of them. So, and then also I was going back and watching the Micic matches, and I know they're a long time ago, but just
I think he's a really tough matchup.
Yeah, Micic doing elbow control as opposed to kind of like straight leg attack is a little tougher for Dayton. But yeah, anybody who's going to go out and take 1,000,000 shots against Dayton, that's not really too big of a concern of mine. A couple. So
well,
I'm gonna take.
I'll say this. I mean,
ahead.
there's a marked difference. Yeah, you also have to remember, and I'm not saying there's other guys like Ortega.
Well, that's what I was gonna get to. He's not in the bracket.
He's not going.
No.
Talk into the mic, Willie. Willie, I can't hear you.
You wrote an article. Well, I don't. The year before the Olympics, Cuba's only sending 4 freestylers?
Yeah, 4 freestyles, only 3 at Olympic weight. So no Andre Ortega. He's the guy who he wants to beat Gilman. He was U23 world champ. He wrestled Dayton at Pan Am Games in a really good match. And then Hartunian from Armenia, who won Euros at 61, and he was bronze last year. Him and Dayton were the bronzes last year at 57 at Junior Worlds. He's also dropping, so he's going to be an interesting wrinkle. I'm going to say Dayton qualifies the weight for the Olympics, and he certainly can win it, but I don't know that I'm picking him to win it. I'm going to say Guev goes back-to-back, although Guev has 2 performances at Worlds. One time he went 0-1, the other time he won. So it's his true talent level somewhere in the middle. Yeah, that's the thing. This is the hardest way to win. The hardest way for me to pick, I think.
I mean, did you even talk about Ordenabat? I mean, that dude's good.
Yeah, he's a little fallen off a little lately. He's starting to get a little long in the tooth. North Korea, Kumsung Kang is really good. Atree's got a lot of experience, but he doesn't scare me a whole bunch.
There's about a 95% chance that Dayton's draw will be difficult. It's just there's not going to be unless he ends up top side or something. I mean, top side is probably going to be where it's at with this situation, you know. Atley and Sanayev. If you end up top side with those two, I mean they're great, but I think Dayton can beat those dudes. So to me, it's like if I see Dayton gets drawn in the top side, which will be, you know how it is with World Championships brackets, they're like small up top and they're gonna have 16 at the bottom. So I think that's one way, but it's probably unlikely. I mean, the 2 and 3 are arguably the 2 best guys, Agoyev and Takahashi.
Yeah. To that point, and I think it was 86 might have been the most egregious that I saw of this. Right now, I'm showing 42 entries, so that's 16 up top and 26 down the bottom.
Nice.
So
I wish you could divide 42 by 2, but it's I consulted many mathematicians, and it is impossible. So they just have to do it 16 up top.
And that makes it super advantageous for like 4 seeds, in this case Sanayev, that he's going to have 10 fewer guys, obviously Atley, but Aguev and Takahashi, they're going to be on the bottom side. That was a semi last year. It would theoretically be a semi this year if they went chalk, but just seem, you know, odds are Dayton's going to be on the bottom side, have to get through maybe both of those guys, and then also maybe Micic, maybe Miroslanov, maybe Artunian.
Why haven't they done that yet? I mean, I guess for next year it doesn't matter. You know, they came out with the rankings update series, which I think are some good moves. And they continually make progress. UWW continually makes progress. And I ain't kissing their butt. I mean, I'm just saying credit where credit's due. I used to be really hard on UWW for a lot of things. They have made gradual and significant improvements to scoring, to bracketing, to tournaments. But at one point, at some point, why can't they say even brackets, even top and bottom?
So the argument that is given is 2 things. One, and I completely disagree with this when they say it, but like it's only one more match or less match. It's always one more match. True. Okay, that's true, but that's not the thing that makes it hard. It's not the extra match. It's the probabilities. 10 more guys, 10 more good guys, and it's randomly drawn in. We seed 4 of them. So you're just not splitting up the talent evenly. And so the reason they say it, if you split it like 21 and 21 or whatever, like on the same side, someone would be fresh, and they would wrestle someone that just won a match or something like that.
I think that if you have an intelligent group of people in the room, that all of them would say, yes, we will take that over
10 more guys
and 24, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, think of the massive advantage. I don't know if we ever talked about this. I mean, not only do you have half as many people, or like considerably less people and considerably less landmines up here than you do down here. But when this goes 1 and 4, I mean, I'd rather be 4 than any of these guys. I'd rather be 4 than 2 and 3.
Of course. Absolutely, it's better to be 4.
Yeah.
And just think about, all right, so there's 4 guys that are seated. I mean, if Nomad made the list of the guys that are going to get randomly drawn in, it's absurd, especially at this weight. Yeah. So you're going to have all these guys. It just doesn't make sense to me. You can't. I don't know if this is just like some American like folk style opinion. To me, it's literally math. Not some like I like it's things math. A certain way because I'm an American wrestling fan. It's just like it just seems more fair and like you're going to get the result that is most requisite with the skill level. Whereas, you get these random, and I guess this kind of plays into the thing, they kind of like the random medalists and the random this and that, and you get that when you can have 8 on one side and 16 on another, and it's good.
I believe that you get the randos at Yasser Dogu. I believe you get the randos at Sarah Pilato. I don't believe you get randos at Worlds and Olympics.
Well, you say that, but Jaime Espinal exists. That's
2012 Olympic silver, dude.
In a weight, look up that bracket. Look up that bracket. Now he beat some dudes to do it, but that bracket was insane. Jaime got brought. So it 100% happens. Yeah. But yeah.
Not that often, I don't believe.
Well, no, but it has happened. Okay, so that's 61. I don't think Nomad picked a winner.
That was 57. I picked Goyev. 2 things that I want to mention. Dark horse, like actual dark horse, guy who I probably should have mentioned. Giorgio Politis of Greece, who's 3-time cadet world medalist. He's very young. We'll see how he does. And then just something to keep in mind as we discuss all the Olympic weights. They are seeding the Pan Am Olympic qualifier. They're seeding the top 2. So that should make us feel a little better if Dayton, for whatever reason, doesn't get it done, that him and Andreu should be opposite sides come time for the Olympic qualifier, or whoever we send at 57, or whoever we send at whatever weights. But hopefully we just get them all done and qualify.
That Giorgio guy, he's been over here at some journeyman stuff, right, Nomad?
Yeah.
Correct.
I remember him.
He is good. I don't know if he's ready yet, but he's good.
Young, yeah.
So who's your pick?
Goyev.
He loves Russia. Loves it. He's basically Russian. Okay. No, good pick. Good pick. Just picking. All right. 61, the top seed may not be coming. Yalisbon Rodriguez, Cuba.
No, he is.
Oh, he's coming. Nice.
He is coming.
Aware from India, Lamtadze, Georgia, and Okolpov. How do you say that one?
Aklapkov. Think of it like that old song, Op Lop and Kov It, like Pop Lock and Drop It. Yeah.
I'm not gonna
remember that? Remember that joint? Come on.
He doesn't know that song.
Oh, he does.
Pop, Lock, and Drop It. Yeah, I know that song, but that's not how I'm gonna remember the Romanian entry.
Well, that's how I remember it.
All right, that's what we're gonna call him. Nikolai Pop, Lock, and Drop It. All right.
Anyway,
we got our man Tyler Graffin here. The contenders, according to Nomad, are Rodriguez, Idrisov of Russia, Haratunyan, Armenia, and Lamtadze. I think Graff is among them for sure. So I will say Tyler Graff is a contender. I think Graff medals, and I will not pick Bond too. Bond had to come from the dead. What match was that? Is that a semi or quarter? He was dead. He had no pulse for some time in that match, and he just went mutant strength, speed, will, and just found a way to win. And then he beat Rashidov, which is still an all-time memory for me in wrestling history. But I just don't think he could do it again. I think he caught fire.
No, I ain't picking him. I ain't picking him. Never. I'm never.
You do not for the record, Willie is anti and has been anti YBR all along. You're like, this dude's overrated. This dude's overrated. Never gonna win a world title.
Fake news.
Oh my gosh, you used to. This was like a pillar of your freestyle opinions, Willie. You were always.
No. It's fair to say. Last year, 4 Worlds, I was like, get out of here. Never in a million years am I picking YBR. Never. I will never take him. Of course, he goes out and wins Worlds. But how do you, pick him with any confidence?
Well, one, no confidence. Certainly no confidence. But you just have to say, well, look at the weight. I don't know. It's not great. He won it. Yeah. There's nobody as good as Rashidov in this field. No one. And he beat Rashidov. There was one move, but it happened to be a 5-pointer, which those still exist in freestyle wrestling. So I don't know. I can't read heads or tails of this weight. All I know is I think Graf's going to do well here.
This weight is a mess.
It is a mess. It's such a mess. I'm like, I think I have to take YBR. Of course, now last year, I'm like, no way in hell. This year, I'm like, I think I'm going to take YBR. Of course, we'll go 0-1.
Yeah. So to Christian's point, Graf has the skill set. We've talked about this a million times, right? The parterre, having both a gut wrench and a leg lace, will come in very handy here. Euro champ Hartunian drops to 57. Lomtadze always gets silver whenever he does do really well. Azerbaijan was 9th last year, so I don't have a whole lot of faith in Givar Zadalov. I don't have a whole lot of faith in Idrisov.
You don't?
I'll tell you what, though.
Why not?
No. He lost to Topal at Euros. He did win U23s last year. He seems like every year Russia has a guy who just won Russian nationals and is kind of like the weak link on their team. Last year was Sokolov at 92. Mm-hmm. A few years ago it was like Kubezhti at 74, and I think that's like their random guy this year, and we're probably not going to see much of him ever again.
I'll tell you what, though. Idrisov obviously is ranked number 1 in the world. And
that was hard. That was contentious, by the way. Me and Spay
went back and forth from Russia. Russia's good at wrestling.
U23 world champ. I don't know, man.
I would say this: Bon, Idrisov, Haratunian, and Lomtadze, and then to me that's the 4, and I'm not considering anybody else.
We'll take Hartunian out. He's dropping, but yeah. Screw it. Let's go Graf. I don't know. This weight's a mess. Cologne did it last year. This is I'm not going to get it right no matter what I pick. So
you literally could though. One of these people are going to win. I don't know if you know that. It's possible.
Isn't Tumenbeleg having a good season?
Tumenbeleg? Yeah.
He has some wins this season.
I thought he was going to drop. I thought he was going to boot Erdinabot out.
Don't talk about my man Erdinabot like that.
Hey,
Beckmeyer.
Willie loves Mongolians. Man, I'm waving the flag. USA. Although I think
screw it.
I think Bond's probably a bad matchup for Tyler. I think Tyler's
a bad matchup for most people.
Yeah, because most people shoot, and then that's when Bond does. That's when Bond does crazy stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kyle? Stephen Kyle?
I like Graf to medal.
Can we really pick him to win the Worlds?
I'm not going to pick him to win the World Championships, but maybe I should.
I don't know. You got to pick someone. One of these people will win.
Yeah.
You picked Graf.
Which is based on his performance is not really a good pick, like internationally. But this weight's a mess.
If you're gonna use that,
I'll take Idrisov.
Yeah, I feel like Russia, Urigan champ, U23 world champ, world number 1. That's probably the safe money. I'll go him. I'll say Graf gets bronze.
Yeah, same.
Idrisov is the safe money. I'm gonna take Bond because why not? I just think he's more talented than everybody. Who knows? He's probably gonna go 0-1.
He's also your age. He's also your age.
That's all right. I guarantee it. I'd like to see him and Lomtadze wrestle in the World Finals and then both go outside and smoke a cigarette together.
I think Bond lives a clean life. All right, 61. No one knows what's going to happen there. We probably none of us got anything right about it, but oh well, you're still listening, so thank you for that. Okay, 65 is stupid. We've known this for some time. The seeds are as follows. 1, Bajrang Punia. 2, Odaguru, Japan. 3, Kılıçdaroğlu from Turkey. And Okasov of Kazakhstan is the 4 seed. Now, there are many really great wrestlers that are not named, that are not seeded. Among them, Rashidov of Russia, very good. Tobier, Cuba, very good. Haji Aliyev and Kachikashvili. Can I interest you in either of those guys?
It's way too silly.
Uzbekistan's Navruzov, who's a former world champion, Olympic bronze medalist. And our guy Zane Rutherford. Okay? This weight is ridiculous. World and Olympic champions among them. So.
Navruzov won in 15?
Yep. He stepped over. That fueled Nomad's Romanov hate when he stepped over his gut.
Well,
65
Navruzov
was crazy then, too.
Yeah, Navruzov's up at 70, but it was said he's going 65. Now he's up 70, so I got some stuff I got to adjust. But
definitely don't want to go to an Olympic weight the year before the Olympics, Navruzov.
Right.
What are you doing, dude? You're 65. Okay. So no Navruzov, but it's still crazy. Now, how do I pick? To me, I always want to pick this guy, but I'm just like kind of woke on him just not being big enough for it. But I love Kachikashvili. He's one of my favorite foreigners ever. I think his stuff is the sickest. I think he's got the most diverse skill set. Yes, even more diverse than Rashidov and Aliyev. That may be crazy, but I think he's the best guy. But I don't know if I could pick him, right? Can you really pick him?
I don't think so. I mean, at 57, less so at 61, but definitely at 57, he was skill for skill the best guy. He was never out of a match. We saw him down 6-0, 7-0, still come back and beat guys.
It's hard to have watched Kachikashvili in the past and not just pick him because of his skill set. But he hasn't been the same guy. Partially because of weight and partially because he just has not been as dynamic. And was it Haji? Who just looked bad? Oh, that was Askarov, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah, Askarov.
Well, Askarov's at 74 now.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
So to Christian's point, there's a lot of guys here who there's weird stuff going on. So Haji beat up on Kachikashvili in Eurogames finals, and last time wrestled Rashidov at Worlds 2017, he beat him in the World Finals. But then last year he goes 0-1 and loses to Tobier. And I don't know. I just think something weird's going on with Azerbaijan, so there's a little bit of weirdness there. Rashidov, I thought that guy was going to win the last 2 years. I thought he was the biggest favorite of anybody last year. We just spent 5 minutes talking about how YBR beat him. And he's got a bunch of silvers. I don't think Valdez Tobier is the kind of guy that can win. I think he can knock a whole lot of people off. We just mentioned Kachikashvili. Can Otaguro go back-to-back? I don't know. That seems hard. Who's the last person that went back-to-back in this way? I think it was Ramazan Sahin in like 07-08.
I don't know. That seems hard.
And then Bajrang, Bajrang lost to USA's backup. So
facts. Okay. But someone will have to win this weight. I had TR Foley confirmed there will be a world champion at 65. So we got to pick one of them. To me, oh man. It seems like it's about the matchups, right? So I like that Aliyev has beaten Rashidov and Kachikashvili. I feel like I like Aliyev against Punia. But I think Odaguro is the best of the bunch.
I do too. I
like that he's Japanese, and I feel like he's going to be on like Nomad said with Azerbaijan. There's like weird stuff happens with these countries, and in Cuba, it's like I don't know. It's like you have to assume that Odaguru's in a stable training situation. He's going to be optimized for Worlds. He's really good. He won this weight last year. No, there's not many back-to-backs, but basically, what we're trying to do right now is find the guy who statistically is most likely to do it. Because we have no idea. It's not like all these guys wrestle at Big Tens and ACCs and we're like, okay, we see where they're at. It's just like we have no idea. which is part of the problem with international wrestling. But that being said, I will pick Odaguru.
I was gonna go Odaguru too, but he's a second seed. I mean, I don't know. It's tough to pick a winner when you don't see the brackets, and you really have no semblance of where 1, 2, 3, 4 is. You have nowhere else where guys are gonna fall. I mean, Bajrang's tempting at the 1 seed. I mean, that's really tempting.
Bajrang, I don't know if I put this in the preview or not, but it was at Indian Pro League, so take it for however you want. But he did beat Haji there this year, Haji Aliyev.
Mm-hmm.
I've been riding the Rashidov at 65 train since we found out that it was going to day of weigh-ins, and I also think he has maybe the first or second best skill set. I know you were talking about Kachishvili and like Aliyev, and I also just think Russia's really good at getting the job done when it comes to qualifying weights for the Olympics, which he doesn't need to win to do so. But I'm going to go with Rashidov. I've been riding that for a while. I'm very excited to see him against Zayn once again. That was a super interesting match at Urigan, and I think Zayn having to go through all this stuff with Yanni, his skill set has improved, and the ways that he can beat Rashidov have improved. So I hope that he gets a second crack at that. And obviously it could help us huge in the team race if he knocks off Rashidov.
Heck yeah.
I don't like Rashidov. I'll tell you, I'm going to put it down.
Me either. I don't either.
Give me Haji.
That's good.
Really?
Yeah, I just think, I don't know. I think he's the most talented. I think he has an it factor. I don't know. Probably won't happen. Like, to me, Bond at 61 is just much more talented than the field. I have to go with it. Haji, I don't think he's much more talented. But I think he's the most talented, other than maybe Odaguru, who number 1 is destined to be down in the bottom, and number 2, he still gives up a lot of scores, doesn't he?
Yeah. Haji, for what it's worth, these are all at 61, but he has the most golds of anyone in the bracket.
Yeah. Now, how much of his hardware has he earned at 65? He was Olympic bronze at 57.
Right. That's what I was saying. All 3 of his titles are at 61. He did win Euro Games this year, but again, went 0-1 last year, and it was against Tobier, who Tobier's the only guy, by the way, to medal back-to-back years in this weight.
I know he's
kind of interesting.
I've always liked Tobier.
Low key,
really good. He's tough to score on. His attacks are really solid. He's a high percentage finisher.
He can throw.
I just always viewed him. I mean, I probably don't give him the respect he deserves. As a 2-time medalist, and he's beaten some good guys. I would never pick him to win at this point. I think he's always a bridesmaid.
Yeah, I think he's got the good in a field like this. I think it's kind of like Nomad said. He can knock guys off. He'll win some matches, but I don't think he has the. I think you just have to be really diverse. That's why I like Kinchikishvili. I think you have to be able to win a lot of different kind of matches. I think Tobier can only win a certain kind of match, and that makes
Agreed.
And I think Odaguru can win a different kind of match. I think Aliyev and Kinchikishvili can. Maybe Rashidov, maybe not. He lost to Bond. Your pick lost to Bond last year. Nomad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I tend
I'm
to.
aware.
Am I off on this? I mean, Rashidov doesn't. Against Bond, he did. He doesn't do enough for me.
That's me. He tries to win this little cute chess match. I don't want to score. Shoot, do more.
He also blows people out a lot and has a world-class gut wrench. Maybe the best in the bracket.
You have a world-class gut wrench, Nomad.
Thank you.
Are guts a thing?
Guts are out, dude. That was just for the domestic. Guts were just a thing for USA domestic.
Come on. Don't be a fool.
Hey, do you know what? We're talking about Tobier. Why they're only sending 4?
I don't know. They only sent 6 to Pan Ams, and the rule is you can only send the amount of guys that you send to your Continental Championship is the same amount you can send to Worlds. So I thought that signaled that they were going to send 1 at every Olympic weight.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're not sending 57. They're not sending 97. They're not sending 125. I have no idea. They're not sending.
Are funds low? I like Cubans at the.
Are you asking if Cuban funds are low? What do you think?
I mean, you would think in their whole budget. You would think in their whole budget that they might earmark, just make sure they have enough money to get to Worlds.
They're women.
The year before the Olympics.
I hear you.
They might make that a priority. Listen, I'm going to go on record and say, Cuba, if you need funds to get to Worlds, call me up. We'll make something happen. We will make sure you guys get to Worlds. I'm telling you. I don't care what Trump says.
Hey, here's
I will start a fundraiser. I will start a GoFundMe. I'll probably put in a couple of dollars of my own money. I will get a corporate sponsor, something. I will make sure Cuba gets to Worlds.
They finished fourth last year with half a team. They only sent 5 guys. They finished fourth.
They're so good.
Incredible.
Does Worlds do double bronze for like team championships? This is just top 3.
I think it's just top 3.
Imagine getting bronze for fourth.
Yeah.
Well, I got bronze too. Okay.
We should real quick talk about Zane's chances to medal. I mean, it's going to be hard because you look at just names we mentioned: Otaguro, Bajrang, Rashidov, Tobier, Liev, Kinchigashvili. That's 6 right there. Now, they're probably not going to fall that nicely in a bracket, but
I'll say this. I like some matchups I like Zane versus Bajrang. I think he does all right there.
Mm-hmm.
Someone like Otaguro, someone super slick, concerns me a little bit. Rashidov, if he's in the way, I mean, there's going to be monsters in the way. So you got to choose some of them. If it's a Rashidov Bajrang situation, I'm feeling okay about that, right? Like, I think he can go with those guys. I think he can go with a Tobier. I think Odaguru's tough. I think Kinchigashvili. Now, he could break Kinchigashvili. I could see Kinchigashvili getting really, really tired. Like, we've seen that version of him. But, like, Aliyev, that's going to be really tough. Though Logan beat Aliyev, people forget. Logan Stieber, big shout. So, I don't know. Those are the guys I feel like, okay, if they're in his way, I feel good. If they are, I feel a little more nervous. Talking about, like, why I don't think Tobier will win Worlds, it's like, you got to be able to win different kinds of matches. I don't know if that's shown that Zane can win a lot of different kind of matches. Although, the fact that he's beaten Yanni, that gives me confidence. That's a unique skill set. That's a European feel here in America. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I don't know what to make of Zane. I think any American in this weight, it's like a little scary. If it was Yanni, I don't know what I would pick with Yanni.
I'm not worried too. Crazy. We mention it every year. The drought at 65, 66.
Hasn't happened since the current head coach won in 2006.
Thank you, Bill. Bill, I've said the solution is Bill needs to get down to 66 and just
get back in there, coach.
Make 65 great again.
By the way, Bill's having a baby.
Oh, awesome.
It's probably his wife, but
probably his wife. Right around Worlds too.
Oh yeah, the due date is during Worlds. That is
bad timing.
Yeah.
Because remember, you know how I put out that? Well, I wrote an article too. The coaches and the partners. I was confirming it. I was like, hey, who's going to be in the corner for this guy? Who's going to be in the corner for that guy? And somebody was like, well, either me or Bill, but I'm not sure if Bill can make it. He's having a baby.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he was going to be at Worlds or not for that. Okay, well, congrats to the Zaddix. Hope that all works out very smoothly for the baby and the wife and all that. Okay. Keep it moving. Sorry, I was kind of like reading, so I was wishing well for the birth of that child. That's kind of callous of me. Good luck with the kid. All right, 70. We got our man's Greasy. Top seed, Adam Batirov. There's top 4 seeds, but Nomad put 6 in here. I don't know what that means. Maybe he thinks some of these guys aren't going to go.
Yeah, this was prior to. I wrote this article prior to the rosters being officially released, and this one had the most question marks. because I just thought Bahrain has like 3 guys, and it just doesn't make any sense for them to send a guy to non-Olympic weight. Like, it's far more valuable for them to qualify the Olympic weight than win gold at non-Olympic weight.
What,
so
it's
I thought
Bahrain.
Batirov was going to go up 74. And also, the only time he wrestled this year was up at 74, so I don't know.
Okay. Now, Bahrain, Kalpanov, the 2nd seed. I don't know a lot of these guys, candidly. Kviatkovsky of Ukraine, 3. Imami, 4 from Iran. Safarian, I know him. Armenia, 5. And Borzakov of Turkmenistan is the 6th. So a regular who's who. And then we got our guy James Green. And the contenders, the unseeded Dave Bave from Russia is the runaway favorite here, I would say. Mm-hmm. So I will pick him. We've got Kaya of Turkey, Mustafayev, Azerbaijan, Ayakobishvili, Georgia is in there, Imami, as you mentioned, and Kaipan of Kazakhstan. So to me, this is Bave. It's probably pronounced Bayev, but we like calling him Dave Bave.
Davey Baby.
Davey Baby. So you guys can get on board with that or not, but we will pronounce it incorrectly intentionally for the jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I said Georgia. I meant Turkey. Turkey went with Kaya over Gore, correct?
Kaya's up at... Oh, yeah. Sorry, Kaya is... Yeah, this is 70. Yes, they went with Kaya.
So I like that. I like Green to medal and Bave to win, and that's all I will say.
I got Yakubishvili 1, Bave 2, James 3.
No. You think the Georgian will win? Why?
Well, he did win in 2017.
He's
He was
awesome.
bronze last year. That's not an outlandish pick at all.
Yakubishvili is awesome. I love him.
I just feel like I thought Babe was like kind of a runaway favorite.
His loss last year was not a bad loss at all. Well, obviously he was in Repsol, but that was a tight match. I love Yakubishvili.
I agree that
Children of the future.
Dave Bave is a massive favorite. He has twice beaten James Green, which is concerning.
He's looking up results.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, Dave Bave wins. Green wrestles for a medal, and I don't know.
You better put respect on his name.
Yeah, Gadjiev. What? I have plenty of respect for James Green.
I'm not talking about him.
He's talking about Yakubishvili.
Yakubishvili.
Dude's salty.
I just hope Green gets another crack at Bayev and beats him. But that guy's been... He's one of those guys that you see him on the cadet level, in the junior level, in U23, and you just know this guy's gonna be around for a long, long time.
At least 3 years. Knowing Russia. 74, can't wait for this one. JB, Sidikov, Chimizo, Kinchadze. The top 4, that is not the order of seeds. Those are just the names. Okay. Chimizo's the 1, Burrow's the 2, Sidikov 3, Kinchadze is the 4. So Burrows will have to avenge Sidikov in the semis and then beat Frank Chimizo for like the 4th or 5th time, depending on how you look at it. And I think he does those things. I think Burrows wins.
What was the situation? What was the seeding situation last year?
Last year?
Did Burrows knew where he was at in the bracket before the tournament?
No.
Yeah, he was...
Oh, I thought he was not seeded.
No, okay, so if you remember, last year there were 2 weights where things went haywire. One was 74.
Oh, yeah, the other was 97.
And the other was 97. And they just decided to put guys at certain points in the bracket. That is exactly what happened.
But they didn't with Chimizo and Burrows, which was weird.
Yes.
No, they did.
Yes, they did.
They put Burrows at the 4 seed, even though he was not the 4 seed.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah, but not opposite sides, Christian's saying.
Right. Chimizo was the 1, Burrows was the 4.
And also Sidikov was on that side as well.
Right. Burrows lost to Sidikov in the quarters, then Sidikov beat Chimizo in the semis.
So,
Burrows,
get to
Sidikov,
it.
Semi.
Get to the picks.
Burrows, Sidikov, semis. Burrows wins. gets to the finals against Frank Chamizo. Chamizo forfeits. He says he'll get him next year. Why is it audition?
You don't want to give him. You don't want to give him too many looks here. You can't give him a feel for the Olympics.
Okay, couple stats I like. Number 1, no man on the senior level has beaten Jordan Burroughs twice. No man. Number 2, he has won both times that it's been a pre-Olympic year, 2011, 2015. And in fact, I think 2015 Jordan Burroughs is the best version of Jordan Burroughs I've ever seen.
I don't know if I
Does it have anything to do with cicadas?
Well, there's a lot of good Jordan Burroughs to pick from, so that's fine. Finally, every time he has gone to Worlds in an odd-numbered year, he has won. It's 2019, Jordan Burroughs.
I don't know if those are stats. I think you're just listing.
I mean, they are stats.
That's a stat.
All right,
it's literally a stat.
To me, it's like he averages 4 takedowns a match is a stat, or like I don't know. To me, those are just like anomalies.
It's more of a fun fact.
I agree. Fun. If you said I'm going to drop some JB fun facts, I'd say those are great. Those were a blast, Nomad.
All right, fun facts. Yeah, we'll call them JB fun facts.
3 of Jordan Burroughs' world titles were on a day when the moon was at new phase.
Ah, crap! I didn't look.
Was
that
it
up.
waxing or waning?
I think it was waxing.
Shoot.
Now, okay, we say, tell us, Nomad. We say Sidikov. We say Chamizo. We say Burroughs. We say Bekzad. Who are we not talking? We're not talking about a rush. Oh yeah, Sidikov.
Yeah.
Who are we not talking about? Who are we missing in here?
Well,
Gomez, Abdurakhmanov.
Yeah, so Gomez, Burroughs won both matches, but obviously had 2 very tough matches. He has literally lost to Bekzad, has since avenged that multiple times over, but had a very tough match with Bekzad.
I'm saying who are we not mentioning? We
That's-
sort of boiled it down to 4 guys.
We hadn't mentioned Bekzad until we mentioned.
Yeah.
Bekzad.
So Bekzad will be unseated. Frank Gomez will be unseated. Demirtas will be unseated. He beat Chamizo last year at Euros, has since lost to him. But I would say those are the main guys.
Yeah.
Oh, so last year, Bekzad was bronze, right? He lost to Kenchadze. That was 14-14 in the first round. 28-point battle in the first round between last year's silver and a multiple-time bronze.
Should have went for 2.
Go for the win, baby.
All right, did you pick?
I said Jordan Burroughs. Jordan Ernest Burroughs.
Jeb.
Jordan Ernest Burroughs.
Jordan Ernest Burroughs. Yeah.
Over who
baby.
in the finals?
Over Chamizo.
Okay.
To me, he's fraud.
Yeah, I don't think Kenchadze beats Chamizo. It'll be a softer side. I don't know.
Sidikov, of all of Burroughs' Russian rivals, Sidikov might scare me the most. And I don't necessarily think he's the best, but this match scares me more than Godoyev did in 2016.
Godoyev was always scarier to me. Godoyev. I think Godoyev is the worst matchup for Jordan of them. Even Sargush. I mean, he lost to Sargush in 14. Whatever. I throw that out. Healthy Jordan beats him. Healthy Jordan did beat him twice. Okay. Godoyev, I always felt like there was a time when Jordan kind of smoked him, but once he kind of emerged, he was really, really tough. Right? I mean, 2015, and I think they hit before then too, and they had a tough match if I'm remembering correctly. But that
beat the street.
Yeah, beat the streets.
That was not a tough match though, I don't think. So after 2015, I was like that because Godoyev does a couple. He's so hard for Jordan to get to him, whereas I think he has a better time getting to Sidikov. I think if Jordan can get to the guy consistently, he will win. But that guy was such a brick wall, and we saw it at the Olympics. He couldn't get to him.
Surprisingly, Godoyev got really, really good, jumped levels when it was clear he was juiced to the gills.
That too.
Yeah. But so,
Sidikov struggled with Kurbanaliyev. Like, that guy's a world champ, but come on, man. How many Americans have beaten that guy? Listen, he's excellent. He beat Jordan. There's like a list of like very few people that have done that. But I do not think that guy at his best is as good as Godoyev. Now, Sidikov's still kind of young. So his best days are potentially yet to come. But I'm not putting him on the Godoyev level yet. And that's a stylistic proclamation.
Sure. Sidikov, last year, his run beat Kirov, very good. Franklin Gomez, very good. Jordan Burroughs, incredible. Chimizo and Kenchadze. That is a legit road to a title.
No question.
And since then, all he's done is win. He's one of, I believe, 4 champs from last year who hasn't lost. Now, there's a couple ways to look at him, right? Because as Christian mentioned, struggled with Kurban Aliyev. I believe it was all shot clocks. Had the tight one. I want to say it was against Kenchadze at Euro Games where he was down, 4 or 5-0, and then scored a whole bunch of points in the last 30 seconds. So for 5.5 minutes, he couldn't score. But Sidikov has that undefinable winner thing that scares me a little bit. And Burroughs has talked about how outside step is a real issue for him. And obviously Burroughs has worked on it 1,000 times. But just Sidikov scares me. I'm picking Burroughs, but Sidikov is legit.
For sure, he's the biggest threat. He's the second best guy at the weight, no doubt.
I guess I didn't elaborate on it. And when we first brought up the weight, and I said, did Jordan know the bracket going in? The Russian has sort of been sprung on Jordan like several times. The draws come out. I got a Russian right now, right? This will be one time where he knows where he is. He knows where Sidikov is.
Yeah, he knows it goes through Sidikov, and he probably, since he lost to Sidikov, he knew 2019 Worlds was going to go through that guy, right? And I just trust his preparation, and that is one thing. I do think that Sidikov has that. I don't know if Godoyev necessarily does had that winning component, that indefinable quality. Jordan has it for sure. We've seen it 1,000 times, and I do think Sidikov has it, and that does make him a little scary. So I think skill-wise, Godoyev is scarier, but that sort of I'm a winner, I find ways to win thing, which we saw he has. Yeah, that is a real thing. And he's got it. But you know who else has that? Kyle Dake. And Jordan Burroughs has figured that out for the most part, almost completely. All right, that's 74. What about what you said, Jordan Burroughs?
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Easy. Any more layups?
I also do think the losing to Aymar was good. Because when Dake announced he was staying up at 79, this is good because we're about to talk about Dake and 79. But when Dake announced he was staying up at 79, Burroughs, I believe, quote tweeted and said something to the effect of, "Man, gonna really miss competing against Dake this year. Every time I've had to wrestle him, I've won. I believe he prepares me really well." And I think, Aymar beating him and just the way that Aymar jumped from 2018 to 2019, I think that was good for JB. I also this is something that I very rarely criticize Jordan Burroughs. I don't know if it was a criticism, but it's a fact. Jordan didn't go outside of the USA last year until Yasser Dogu. And that was the one time that he lost to Chimizo. I know it was super controversial. And the other time he went outside the US, he lost to Sidikov. This year, he wrestled outside the US more, and I just think he is better prepared this year than last year. And not that Burroughs obviously didn't prepare for last year. I just think this year is a little bit different, a little bit better.
Yeah. No, those are good points. All right, speaking of 79, we can pick up the pace a little bit here because there's no need for a lot of discussion here. What?
Yeah, 79's sort of thin.
Well, yeah.
Sort of thin.
Yeah, Kyle Dake's, so let me say my words, and then we'll go. So, top 4 seeds. Dake Hassanov, which was the world final. Katanaglo, I don't know him. And Tamuri. Thank you. I can always count on Nomad for the proper pronunciations. So those are the guys. Kyle Dake's going to win this weight. Back-to-back world champion. Great success. Anything else? What's Russia working with? Nabiev? Can you give me is there any chance this dude lays an egg for Russia?
No, he's not going to lay an egg. He was U23 silver last year. He was 2015 junior champ. So he's very good and has world's experience, but He is number 4 on their depth chart. Like, he didn't even make it into the main bracket at Urigan. You know how they have to have those 2 wrestle-offs beforehand? Didn't even make it in the main bracket at Urigan. He didn't win. I think it was the Ali Aliyev. So he kind of put together Russian Nationals after Gadji Magomedov ripped up his knee, after Ramazanov, who beat Gadji at Urigan, went up to 86, and after Zasev didn't wrestle at all. So this is going to show Russia's depth, that their 4th-string guy can still medal, but not really, because this weight isn't super deep, and we don't know where he's going to be in the bracket, but he'll do fine. He's not a concern for Dake. Ringer wrestled Tamori, beat him 4-0, so I assume that Dake can do the same thing. I think that's going to be Dake's toughest matchup, because he was 3-0 against Hassanov last year, and I think he'll beat Hassanov worse this year if they wrestle in the finals again.
Yeah.
Because I think, number one, Hassanov didn't really do anything, and I think Dake just did the thing where he's like, I'm not going to screw up my world title trying to blow this dude out. I know I can beat him. I'm just going to go out there and do it. But I think this year it's a little more controlling, maybe 6-1 in the final, 6-0.
Here's a thought for Russia's lineup. Why not bump him up just one more weight? Let's get Mr. Dadbot himself, Kurban Aliyev, in there at 79. I want to see the transformation. I want to see that belly in action. I think he's better than Nabiev. At least be hilarious. Yeah. Throw him out there. if nothing for the lulz.
Everybody taking Dake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
86.
This weight'll. I mean, honestly, that's like outside of watching Dake.
I don't even know who I have him in the finals against. I mean,
Hassanov's safe money, I suppose, at the 2.
Yeah.
How
Tamori beat Hassanov
the guy
this
medals
year, but
every
he's the same side as Dake, so yeah.
How many medals does Hassanov have?
he's
3 or 4.
I thought, yeah.
He got to be 40.
He was wrestling 66 back in 2010. Like he's pre-Burroughs.
Hey,
Yeah, I know.
he's 29.
That's fake news. He's listed as 29 years old.
February 24th, 1990.
He is a season 29.
Look at his hair. That is not the hairline of a 29-year-old, not named LeBron James. Okay. Next up.
Easy.
Sorry. You know what? I'm
Yeezy.
Team LeBron. All right. World champ or homeless. Oh, boy. 86 kilograms. I'm nervous for our friend James Patrick Downey III because
I'm also worried about his home.
I'm worried about where he's gonna live because Makoyev, Yazdana Charati, Deepak Punya, Fatih Erdin. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for Pat to do it. Nifanov is in there for Russia. Ali Shabanov from Belarus is really good.
I hate
This is problematic, guys.
I'm going. I mean, real easy to me is I'm taking Charati, and to me it's where's Erdin? What seed?
Erdin is the 1 seed.
Charati's the 3. Okay, to me it's Charati and then either Erdin or Nifanov.
Yeah. So this is the weight where I was saying at the last time I checked, there was 45 entries. So getting on the top side is going to be so crucial for Downey, and obviously completely out of his control. Now, he has lost to Deepak. He lost to him at Dogu. And Erdin is just that's going to be a hard matchup. But if he can lose to one of those guys and get into that bronze medal match, then we're golden.
Then we're golden.
Well, actually, we're bronze.
So we're bronzing.
We're bronzing. But really, if we're top 5, we qualify the weight,
Yeah.
which is a gold medal. I think if he's top 5, he's a world champion, and therefore will not have to be homeless.
Yeah.
Because I want to believe. Lord help my unbelief. But I just don't think Downey can win worlds. Call me crazy. I don't want to say it. Gives me no pleasure. But yeah. I just don't.
Look, this is, we're all rooting for Downey, but this year, or like approximately since Worlds last year, He's something like 3-6 against international opponents, and they're all the guys he beat are Pan Am guys.
That's a stat.
And none of them are Torreblanca Peralta. And his career record at senior level against international guys is around 500. So looking at the results, he hasn't put it together. Now, this is, I think, the best version of Pat Downey you're ever going to see.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to beat, at least one of Torreblanca or Shabanov or Erden or Deepak. And that's going to be something he hasn't done before.
Okay. So I'm taking Hassan Yazdani Chirati.
Yazdani.
Yeah.
The greatest.
And I'll say Downey gets 5th somehow, some way. Through the power of the mullet.
Top side or bust.
Yeah. Top side for Downey. Okay, 92. This can be like 79. Jaden Cox will win this weight. Karimi in there that's a good guy, but he's 3-0-ish against Karimi. He's done really well against him historically. He just matches up great, probably because Jaden matches up well against basically everyone. He's one of the best wrestlers walking around on the planet. So it's Jaden, Karimi, Yankuski, and let me get real close here. It's an MTS, the first 3 letters. Normally they'll toss a vowel in there. So Mitsuturi,
Mitsubishi,
Maserati for Georgia. Okay. So I've got Jaden, and I've got him over. I think Karimi makes the final, although there's a Russian there that I don't know a lot about. But I bet Nomad
Toss
does.
Shabrilov out. Yeah, toss Shabrilov out.
All right.
Never represented them at Worlds. We only really have results from him for the last 2 years. He's another one that's like second or third best, but put together at Russian Nationals. So 61 and 92 are where we have a lot of ability to gain. Well, and 79 on Russia in terms of the team race. 61 is a little more problematic because of Drisov, but I don't think Zabrilov's going to medal.
Again.
And I think Jaden Cox is the heaviest favorite. Jaden Cox like a minus 1,500 to win.
All right. And that's talking gambling lines with Nomad. I think, again, here, this is an opportunity for Kurbanaliev to really show his mettle. Get him up there at 92. See what happens. See, he will make your nation proud. Willie started a GoFundMe to get Cuba to the Worlds. I'm starting a GoFundMe to get Kurbanaliev in the lineup. The man lost 1-1 to Sidikov.
To get Kurbanaliev fat?
Yes. I want him maxed out. And if you think 92 is out of the question for that guy, I think you don't know anything about this guy. I don't think you know how big he can get and how good he is. So I say let's get him up at 92, and let's make this a weight to really talk about. Because otherwise it's just Jaden Cox smashing everyone. He's there. He's with him. He's wearing a velour tracksuit right now.
Right now.
And you're going to tell me he can't go 92? Okay.
That was such a great picture.
It's a great picture. All right. Is anyone picking Jaden?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Jaden Michael Tabori Cox.
Jaden Michael Tabori Cox, world champion
only guy
back-to-back.
We were concerned about Sharifov. He's 0-2 against Sharifov, and they had to bump him up to 97. So,
See?
How old Sharifov?
Sharifov's also approximately my age.
He's probably 25.
Him and Hassanov. Sharifov won Worlds in 2011.
He did.
Burroughs.
He's 30.
Burroughs. Yeah, Burroughs won 11.
He's 30. He's from Dagestan. Okay.
It says he's 30.
Yep.
97.
Is he the poster boy for age cheating in wrestling? 30. Okay. There's a couple of them. All right, 97. Oh boy. Snyder Liev 3.
Abdul Sharid Sajilayev.
Okay.
Are they? I don't even know what the seeds are.
It's Snyder Sajilayev 1 and 2. Oh my gosh. We got a ULZ. I think Nomad just throws these in here. A ULZ, those should not be in.
Oh, Ozzy Sakon.
Ozzy Sakon. And then Otakazi. I know that one.
Otakazi.
Oh my gosh.
Otakazi.
Otakazi.
Oh man. That was a crazy van ride. Okay.
There's 2 Ozzy Sakons. They're both.
I know.
Very
Everyone
good.
knows that, Nomad. We know how many Ozzy Sakons there are. Stop boring our listeners. Everyone knows that. Now, Snyder, Sadulayev, I think is the only thing we can talk about here. Even though I don't like that Otakazi is Snyder's semi. That guy always wrestles him tough. But I just say, I forget you. He will beat him once more.
Mm-hmm.
But then we have to talk about it. We have to say the words. Sadulayev,
To say the words.
Snyder.
Everybody's going to be sad right now and feel very guilty. Aren't you?
I'm sad.
I am.
I'm sad. But I'm not sad because I'm picking Kyle Snyder. Snyder over Sadulayev. America.
Kyle
think
Snyder, Kyle Snyder.
Kyle Snyder, Kyle Snyder.
You think I'm going to pick against a Kyle?
Heck no.
After the year we've had?
After the year, a big year for Kyle's. Ups and downs. Had some swings.
This is why he's going to win it.
Yeah,
he's going to win it for
you know
Kyle's
what?
everywhere.
For
what?
honor and loyalty.
Kyle Snyder over Sadulayev. Go
Wow.
ahead, say it.
For God and
Go ahead,
country.
say it.
He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
So Kyle Snyder, I know.
Yeah, we know.
Kyle
Snyder.
We know Kyle Snyder's one of the greatest of all time. You're not telling us anything.
I tell you what, you don't pull the trigger on this, you're out of Baltimore County. You're out of Baltimore County. The state of Maryland would disown you. You don't do it.
Sadulayev.
You son
God.
of a bitch.
He's full size.
Kyle.
You and Downey are now homeless.
Kyle's out of control. Kyle, you're homeless. Tell Olivia
I love it.
she can, I don't know, Katie will help her out. Jeez, Kyle, with the SOBs. Sam Herring's listening. And
I was
sweet
gonna-
Eli's probably eating a chicken bone right now. He might choke on it.
I was going to say son of a gun, but then I just needed to commit all the way on that.
It
I'm
really
glad. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
no, you got to go.
It felt right,
you-
even though as much as I didn't want to hear it, it definitely worked. The timing was great. But, all right, here's the thing. Sadulayev, my main issue here is we learned nothing last year, really, like how a 6-minute match would go. He hit him with a Taylor Bramani, and that was all she wrote. Dang back. I need to know, and here's the thing. It all comes full circle because when we were at Ohio State, who was training in the Ohio State wrestling room at the RTC practice?
Romani.
Taylor Bramani.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminded me of when Matt Cathell and Zeb, he hit a junior high move.
Yes.
That call.
He hit the whale roll.
Yeah.
And he pinned the CMU guy. Yes, that is what happened. So there's nothing much to take of it. He pinned him in the first minute. We have no idea if he can withstand Snyder's pace for 6 minutes. Yeah, maybe he's a little more skilled and all that, but there's just something about that American will and horsepower. I'm picking Snyder. I really hope he does it. I would say if you pick Sadulayev, you're not crazy, but you do hate America, and so
What you do hate America.
I just got confirmation you're not allowed back in Maryland, Nomad.
Wow.
Mariah Hewer from Hagerstown said, yes, we in Maryland are officially saying Nomad is no longer welcome. Commie.
I told you.
Commie.
Oh, wow. And Kami.
The scourge of Calvert Hall.
wow.
Well,
All right.
I'll just stay in Austin for Christmas. It'll be okay.
I say the same thing. I said the same thing about Ben Askren's fight with Masvidal.
That was exactly where my head was, too.
I didn't really learn much. I don't know how.
2-second knockout.
I mean, it lasted 2 seconds. I don't know how. I don't know how a full round goes. I don't know how a full fight goes, right? And Sadulayev hit a move that he practices, and sure, he has that ability. He has that ability to do all-time great, all-time iconic things. But how does a 6-minute match go? I don't know. The last time we saw a 6-minute match, Kyle Snyder won.
Take that for stats, Nomad. There's a stat dropped on you, along with honor and loyalty from Willie Saylor. How dare you? Take off your Morningstar Farms shirt, too.
Kyle Snyder. Shout right, Morningstar. All I know is Kyle Snyder is the greatest wrestler in the history of my home state, and I'm very glad that he wrestles for America. And I also hope that he brings the Maryland flag with him kind of like how the Russians bring the Dagestani flag and the Russian flag. And I hope he runs around with both flags when he beats Sadulayev this year.
Son of a gun. I hope. Yeah, me too. Sadulayev is.
If you really hope that, you just would have picked him.
Yeah, that's how you truly. That's the only way you could really. I really think you want that to happen is if you pick him. Okay. Not 125. I don't have. You haven't written that preview yet, no man. So
yeah, I know.
I don't have the seeds. I don't have anything, but I'm guessing Agul and Petriashvili and Nick Wisdowski and.
Seeds are as follows: Petriashvili 1, Deng 2, Akul 3, Gwiz 4. Gwiz being the 4 is good, gets him on top side.
Wait,
Deng is
wrestling.
Is Deng who Gwiz blew that match against last year?
He also lost to him at Dogu this year, or no, Kolov this year.
Struggles with that guy.
Two Dengs on his record. So I feel like he's gonna medal again, but Petriashvili is planetary problems for Nicholas.
He'll medal.
He'll medal. He will get bronze. He will not have the opportunity for silver, I don't believe, because I mean, Petriashvili. What's Agul doing? What's his plan?
He's trying to win.
Okay.
He shut out
Think he has a plan or
7-0 at
something?
Euros.
So, yeah, who won? Agul or Petriashvili at Euros? Did they hit?
Yeah, Akul won 7-0.
All right, then he's going to win Worlds again. I always think he's better than Petriashvili, but sometimes he just loses to him.
Every time. I think he is every time.
But then he loses to him. It's always strange. I'm picking Agul to win over Petriashvili. I'm assuming, yeah, that'll be the final.
Well, he didn't lose to him last year, right? He lost to some oddball. Didn't he?
He lost to Hobby.
Yeah.
Hadi's gigantic cranium.
Okay, so not an oddball, but I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
And Hadi's out, right?
Yeah, Hadi's out. It'll be Mehebi for Iran, which is good because Gwiz has beaten him. I think he can beat him again. Guys we're concerned about are like Kotsianivsky, obviously Petriashvili.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, that's a good sort of segue, but Iran is a mess.
Oh, my Lord, they're a mess.
I mean, their team is bad.
They might finish outside top 10.
They were 9th last year, right?
Yeah.
What were they in 17?
They were outside
they
the
might
top
have
10. They were outside the top 10 in then too, because remember it was like, dude, they're not going to be invited to the World Cup.
Yes. They've been down, and it's not like a blip. It's not like, we had a bad performance. They've been down for a while, and it's very unsettling because at one time they were such a power, and like Iran's coming and they're going to be here forever, and they had depth and they had youngsters and they're winning all these age level titles, and their whole system is a mess. I mean, the country's a mess. Their whole country's a mess. The team's a mess. The coaching staff's a mess. The government's a mess in that, they're not paying the athletes and what they should, and yada, 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 and then everything else.
It's like if Oklahoma State was bad in wrestling. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, why are they? But yeah, so they were 9th in 2017. They were 6th last year. And this team is worse than both of those teams.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are our predictions. Wait, who did you guys pick? That was my prediction.
I got Agul.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Taha's the best.
Okay. I agree. Now, so it's 9:48 here in Austin, Texas. 10:40.
What time did we start? Like 8:20?
We started
Yeah.
14, 15 minutes.
I feel like we have questions still to get to. We can obviously shelf 149 tiers to the next one, but I want to talk about Iran, Israel, obviously. You're not gonna not.
I do too.
But I also want to do questions. So let's do those.
Do questions?
Cool. Let's do. What should we do first?
I think we do Iran, Israel. It's a great great segue. We're talking about their whole system being a mess to the point where coaches are leaving, then they're coming back. Athletes are not being paid. They're not having good performance. It's not just like our opinion. This is not a political opinion spin zone. They have consistently underperformed to a tier that they were performing at for a long duration. Yeah. And now they are not.
Yeah. Okay. So, as promised, I'm going to talk about this. It was Thursday night, and I had sweet Natalie on my lap. She was sick. We were watching Goldie and Bear, which dads out there, you know, that's a horrible show on Netflix that little girls like to watch. So I'm thumbing through Twitter, and a guy named Zach sends me he tweets at me this Instagram post about Hassan Danachirati, the Olympic and world champion from Iran, going 86, and there's an Israeli entered at 86 kilograms, and I think Danachirati's quote is like, hey, I'm praying that I don't get matched up, or I'll have to accept defeat if I have an Israeli in my path. So, you know, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, this is horrible, right? Like, this guy is obviously an amazing wrestler, and if you don't know, Iran will not wrestle Israel. They do not recognize Israel as a state. Obviously, Iran has a pretty messed up government, to say the least, and they have some bigoted policies, anti-Semitic policies, no doubt. And among them, they won't wrestle an Israeli, no matter what. There's videos of them. They had Karimi at U23s take a dive against a Russian to get tech so he wouldn't have to wrestle Israel. They had, there's videos of these kids weeping when they are told they have to forfeit to Israel. They're begging to fight. So I'm saying, man, you know, UWW has gone outside the rules before to make the brackets make sense, you know, with Snyder and Sadulayev last year. But why not do that for this instance? Now, and the reason I said that is for two reasons, okay? Actually, several reasons. One, I believe that the world championships should determine who the best wrestler in the world is, okay? And I want to learn that information. And if there's a possibility that an Iranian would hit an Israeli and Danachirati cannot wrestle, we will not know who the best wrestler at 86 kilograms is if that happens, okay? That's a fact. We will wonder. Someone else will win it, and we will be left to wonder who's the best guy to win it, okay? One, so that is one thing. It's for the betterment of the tournament, right? That we will figure out who the best guy is, that we will see the best wrestlers in the world wrestle each other, okay? One. So it's from a wrestling perspective. The other reason is what I alluded to earlier, is the Iranian wrestlers do not want to do this. They want to wrestle Israel. Kadem, the head of the Iranian Wrestling Federation, says we should not be forcing guys to forfeit, pretend they're hurt. We should not make them accept defeat against Israel. So the very head of Iranian wrestling doesn't want to do it. The wrestlers do not want to do it. The wrestlers are a pawn in the political game from the Iranian government. They are a pawn and nothing more. They do not want to do this. They're not actively looking to participate in this. They want to compete, okay? So that is my perspective, and I'm saying, man, this is not good, and I want them to be able to compete. Now, if you say to me, listen, man, you can't make an exception for a country that won't wrestle another one. Think of that's a slippery slope. UWW and the IOC should not get in that business. To that I say, hey, I don't disagree with that. That's fair, sure. And if you say what's good for the goose should be good for the gander, I don't necessarily disagree, because in my principles, or in general, like, it should be broadly applicable. But my counter to that would be, okay, this is the only instance where this happens in wrestling, and to my knowledge, and I don't know, it could happen in other international sport. I follow wrestling. I don't follow other sports that well, but to me, this is the only instance it happens. There's very few Israeli wrestlers in general. Even if there were more, I don't know how much that matters. So I'm saying, just put them on other ends of the bracket. If they hit in the finals, they hit in the finals, and Iran forfeits, and that's even worse. But kind of cross that bridge when we get there. 1. 2, it's also possible that they would be on opposite ends anyway, naturally, through the random draw. Okay, that could very well happen. So I'm just saying, just plot them on opposite ends just so we don't run into this thing. Because I'll tell you what, and here's another point. If Iran and Israel hit, I promise you, the mainstream focus, not that we get a ton of mainstream focus on wrestling, that will be the story coming out of the World Championships. That an Iranian wrestler, world champion, forfeited to Israel. That will be the story. It won't be about Snyder beating Sadulayev or some Russian thing or a woman wrestler making history in some way for their country. It'll be about Iran forfeiting to Israel and all that comes with that. And I say that's bad. Now, here, the outrage, and I was really surprised. I mean, I woke up Friday morning and I was like, whoa, I really did something here that I wasn't trying to do. Now, maybe that a little bit of that is 2019, and there's just a penchant for getting outraged about such things, and throwing around racist, bigot, anti-Semitic is just very in vogue. However, while that is true, and while I do think I experienced some of that, the other thing, there are a lot of people I really, really respect that were super mad at me. And that is where I'm like, hold on a second. I don't think I'm wondering, I was left to wonder, wait, where's the line here? Because Iran is a bigoted nation with a racist policy, okay? Acknowledged, right? But we don't have any issue with them participating in the tournament, right? Wicked government, but they compete, right? No issues there. Wicked government, racist policy, host the UWW World Cup, okay? How is that not any more of an endorsement or an acknowledgement of saying this is fine? We had them over in America to wrestle for a charity event. That was awesome. I loved that. But so to me, it's like, but when I suggest, okay, let's just throw these guys opposite sides, now I'm kowtowing to the racist policy. To me, that's the line. That's the line right there. Because hosting World Cup, letting them participate, paying money for their wrestlers to come here, that's all fine. But for some reason, that was the thing. And that was what surprised me the most.
Yeah, I didn't get it, when it first happened. I'm sure I say some things sometimes that you get text and DMs about, like, Willie's out of bounds on this one. Willie's off on this one. I was getting texts, hey, that's a bad Piles take. He's going to get ripped for it. And you did get ripped for it, except the people that were doing the ripping were making bad points, and I didn't do anything to convince me otherwise. If you say let's separate them so that the brackets play out right. If you say let's separate them so that we avoid controversy. If you say let's separate them so that we just don't run into this problem, that is somehow appeasing their racism, but letting them in the tournament to begin with is not. But flying them over, and Mike Novogratz, we love you, man. You do a lot of great things for the sport. We love you. But I don't know how you can say that they're a bad country. We shouldn't be making exceptions to them. But then inviting them over and, putting them up and having them at a charity event. Yeah. How does UWW, they won't separate them because that would be kowtowing to their racist bigot stuff, but yet let them host the World Cup. To me, you got to make a choice. And the same way that people have ran and raved forever, let's just talk about the actual wrestling for a second. Mm-hmm. The same way that people have ran it and raved for years, we need at least some separation. We need Chamizo and Burroughs opposite sides. We need Sedulayev and Snyder opposite sides, or else the whole brackets get messed up. I mean, if an Iranian forfeits to an Israeli, it not only messes up the bracket in the sense that who's the best wrestler, we don't know, it also screws up the whole repechage. So now who's the best bronze? I don't know, right? It makes so much practical sense to do so. And I don't know if it's the way to go, but I don't understand. I certainly don't understand the outrage. Now, listen, my friend, my colleague, Christian Piles is off the cuff coming up with a solution that's better than any solution that I heard anybody else say.
If you said, I have no issues with disagreement. You say, hey, this is not good. We shouldn't make. Okay, that's fine. And also on the other side, if you said Iran has to get in line and they have to agree to compete against every nation and every competition. I'm not just saying UWW, IOC. If they put their foot down and said, you have to do this or you're out, I would be fine with that as well. I have no issues with that. But we're letting them in. We're letting them do this thing. And I say no. And what's one thing that always gets brought up? Politics and sports are separate. Politics and sports are separate, right? And that was the beautiful thing of Beat the Streets, having Russia, Iran, and America all together, right? Putting politics aside, let's just wrestle, okay? And maybe it's not putting politics aside if we manipulate a bracket for political reasons. But to me, it's like, let's not make the politics the center of the thing. And no one, if you move, instead of having Iran and Israel right next to each other and you swap them out with the North Korean that's at the top side, which North Korea, by the way, you want to talk about problematic, they are starving their people, okay? That's a corrupt government. And then we let them in too, right? That's fine. Separating politics and sport. And I think it's kind of the beauty of international sport. If you think I missed the mark here and this is not an adjustment that wrestling should make, I don't disagree with that. But to say this is the where you're drawing the line, I don't understand that.
And let me also say this: you alluded to it, but I think it needs to be amplified. Is that it's indoctrination, and when I go overseas, one of the first times I went overseas, I buddied up with an Iranian journalist. There's pictures on my Facebook of it. He was an awesome dude, man. Yeah. And the wrestlers. And that famous picture of Godarzi and Burroughs. Yeah. Arm in arm, Iran and USA. And there's massive amounts of editorials out there that say, that the Iranian government tells the people to, they push this agenda, death to America, and we hate America. But the Iranian people truly don't feel that way. Right? They want to push that on them, but they don't really feel that way. And when I go overseas, I don't feel that. And in that same vein, what I'm getting at is I feel bad for the wrestlers. The wrestlers don't want to do this. And think about guys that have trained their whole life. Yeah. And this is the world championships, and they want to get a world medal. And for some of them, they get paid upon their performance at Worlds. And then the bracket, we're talking about some sort of random draw generator is going to determine their fate and take away their dreams for a thing that they don't want to
agree with.
They don't want to participate in.
Yeah.
There's a couple things for me that were odd about the whole thing. So first of all, politics and sports will never be separated, to the point that I think the whole point of the Olympics and international sports, World Cup, all these major events, is to try to lessen actual international conflict, actual bad international relations and war, and say, let's just settle this on a wrestling mat or a soccer field or a basketball court. And we can hate each other in the moment of sport, but not blow each other up. So I don't know how you remove politics from sports. And if you think politics shouldn't be involved in sports, well, I'm sorry, you're dumb, because they've always been involved in sports. It's been a huge part of sports, and it's a part of why the freaking Olympics exist.
Yeah.
Second of all, the slippery slope argument was never really answered when Christian came back with, but you let them in.
Yeah.
Because yes, of course, there's slippery slopes of what if Russia says this, and what if, there's Kosovo, and there's Armenia and what was it? Armenia and Georgia hate each other. Armenia and Azerbaijan, I forget. So all these countries hate each other. So should they be separated? I get all that.
Yeah, Armenia hates who?
I can't remember if it's Azerbaijan or Georgia. But the point is, right, all these countries have all these other things. And so, sure, do we have to consider those? Well, I don't know, maybe. But then also, international governing, but I don't think international sport governing bodies putting pressure on Iran and even saying, hey, you can't compete at all is going to make the Iranian government change. Now, does that mean that we are becoming part of the problem or acquiescing if we say we have to separate Iran and Israel? I don't know, maybe, but I sure as hell don't think that if UWW said Iran cannot compete in wrestling because they don't recognize Israel, that the Iranian government's going to change.
It's full scale racism. I mean, it's full scale. I mean, they don't recognize these people. They don't recognize Israel, which is horrible. So for me, it is horrible. To me, it's no different than if a black or white thing, right? So if you're gonna, Christian came up with one solution. To me, there's two solutions. You either don't have it be a distraction, and you don't mess up the tournament, and you don't punish these athletes that don't even want to participate in this forfeiting game to begin with, or you say, you know what, you're in the bracket. If you forfeit, you're out for your whole federation is out. You cannot participate in any UWW events for a year or two, and then let that be it. In or out. I mean, take a stance.
Yeah. Okay. Steve and Kyle, do you care to dip your toe into these tense political waters?
No, I think you guys hit everything.
I don't blame you. It's funny, and we'll go very soon. But I got, so obviously, a lot of very public backlash on Twitter. And I think other people, I've never, in 2019, that those kind of tsunamis are more present, and people are looking for the cause to march on Washington for. And I sensed a lot of people not wanting to get involved with that, because I got a lot of DMs from people that are like, hey, I think you're right on here. Don't worry about it. But I don't blame them for not wanting to get into it, right? Because, geez, I did not expect to wake up Friday and be called a racist and anti-Semitic and all the things that I'm not, right? So I think they probably saw that and were like, whoa, it seems like you can disagree with my perspective, but to take it to that level, to demonize it and, call me stupid, Mike Novogratz, I don't know. That's a different thing. So I don't blame those people for not getting in it. I don't blame anyone for not. And yep, to reiterate, I stand by every word I said regarding this topic. I have no regrets. I do not apologize for anything. And with that, we can go. Caleb Blakeman, feel free to play us out. We went way over.
Going to Worlds.
It's Worlds time. Send Willie and Nomad a tweet. Wish them good luck and safe travels. I wish you good luck and safe travels. I thank you guys so much for listening to 405 episodes of Flow Wrestling Radio Live. We'll be back another time, probably Thursday. Probably without these two jabronis who will be flying Air Kazakhstan, Air Nur-Sultan. So we'll do that. Lots of Worlds content yet to come. And thanks so much. We'll see you next time.